So I'm going to do another example. This is just kind of building up gradually to slightly more complicated problems, just like maybe one more step each time. So we could have the absolute value of 2x plus 1 equals 4. So now instead of just having x plus something, plus or minus something, I have 2x plus or minus something. So it still works the same way. What I do is, the way I write it out is I write these two lines like a upside down V, just like a tree. If you've ever seen a tree of options, you know, case 1, case 2. And that's so that I don't forget the second one, because people will forget to do the second one and they get it wrong. So the first one, I just drop the absolute values, right? Drop the absolute values. And the second one, the left side's the same. See, the 2x plus 1 in blue, that's the same. And what's different is you change, instead of having a 4, you put a negative 4. And then you solve these separately. So you subtract 1 from both sides, right? And then cross multiply with the 2, or divide both sides by 2, same thing. Subtract 1 from both sides, cross multiply with the 2. So now I got those answers. I want to check them and make sure they work. Always check your answers. So 2 times 3 halves plus 1. These are fairly easy to check because the denominators usually cancel out. So that equals 3 because the 2's cancel. So you get 3 plus 1, that's 4. Absolute value of that is 4, which is what I wanted, right? That's what's over here, 4. Okay, and then I'm going to try this. That was doing this 3 halves. And now I'm going to do the negative 5 halves. Again, the 2's cancel. So you just get negative 5, absolute value of negative 5 plus 1. You can see what happens. You end up getting absolute value of negative 4 instead of the 4 on the previous one. And of course, that's going to be 4 again. So they both work. And so I put a box around it, or you would enter it in the computer. You might put a box around it on your homework, on your paperwork anyway. You should do your paperwork. It should pretty much look exactly like this. Write it out the same way. You know, don't skip things because, oh, I don't need to write it down because he's not going to grade what I'm writing down, so I'll just skip everything, because it makes it harder to learn and harder to get this right. This is one of the sections that people miss the most. It could be because it's at the beginning of the semester. It could also be because they write things down chaotically instead of systematically, like I am. Systematic is better. In fact, on this problem, there's nothing here that you shouldn't have written down. And you might even have a little bit more written down, like when you calculate, you might have had over here minus 1, you know. If I move a term to the right, it becomes negative. That's all I did. And usually I would just combine it, but I just wanted to show you what I was doing. Right? Subtract that, you get negative 5. It's just easier. You could go over 2 if you want to, if you're that enamored of it. And you don't want to cross multiply. 2 just goes down the denominator on the right. Okay, so that's the next one.